Good afternoon, everyone. It's Mr. Montgomery back again with lesson number 2 of Unit 7 that we're doing. And yesterday we did some work with numbers 11 through 19. And guess what? Today we are still working with numbers 11 all the way through 19. We're still working with these same numbers, but we're going to do something just a little bit different. And I think you guys are really going to catch on quick again because it's nothing too crazy. And well, let's just jump right into it. Okay. So, if you would like to use counters for the 10 frame, just let me know that you want some counters and hit that spacebar on the computer screen, okay? Alright, I'm guessing everyone has their counters if you're still listening. And let's move on. So, let's pick a number first. Let's start with an easy number. Let's start with 11. It's the smallest one that we have to work with. So let's start with that. So let's make 11 counters. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I finished that top row. Gotta go drop down to the second row. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And since I fill up this 10 frame, I go down to the second 10 frame and 11. Okay, so I have all my counters I need. And what they're asking here is, what is one more than 11? We're working with the number 11, but what is one more? So you can actually take your counters and use the other side that has a different color. So you guys have yellow and red. So whether you pick all yellow up here, then you're going to use red for the next one. Or if you use all red, you're going to use yellow, okay? For me, yellow is a little tough to see with a white background, so I'm going to use blue and red, okay? So they want one more. Well, I'm going to just put one red dot to show that I'm adding one. And what number did we make now? Well, let's see, we had 11. We count on one more, 12. So one more than 11 is 12. So we write down the number 12 on this line. And now, the next part of the question they're asking is, what is 2 more? So we're going to do the same thing. Since we already added one counter, well, guess what? We're just going to add one more so that we have 2 counters all together, okay? They wanted us to add 2. I'm using really wide pen, right? They want us 2. So 1, 2, we added our 2, right? We're good to go. So we can count on from 11 here. So it's 12, 13. So 2 more than 11 is 13. If we wanted to write this as a number sentence, guess what? We absolutely could. And let's do that now just so we can see what exactly they're talking about. Because in the future, we might just see these number sentences. So they want one more than 11. So that would just be 11 plus 1. It is the same thing. It means the same thing, guys. So 11 plus 1, we already know is 12. And that's what we got here, right? We got 12. And let's do the 2 more. That's also kind of just adding, really. So what is 2 more than 11? Well, if we wanted to write a number sentence, we could put 11 plus 2. And 11 plus 2 is going to be 13. You can always use a number line if you like to use a number line. That is 100% A-OK. So we're going to take away this and take away that because we're going to move on to number 2 now. But just to make sure we understand what we're going to be doing, we're still going to use the number 11. And you'll see exactly why I'm sticking with the number 11 in just 1 minute. Okay. So Okay, so I'm going to write 11 again here, right, for number 2. Except this time they changed it on us a little bit. Instead of adding, they said, what is 1 fewer? And what does fewer mean? Does that mean we're going to be using more? Are we going to be adding to this? Or are we going to be taking away? Well, I hope you are all saying, Mr. Montgomery, it means we are taking away. Okay, and I thought about how exactly I'm going to do this. So, when I take away, I'm actually just going to color these blue ones in red to show that it went away, okay? Because we're just going to make sure we keep track of these blue dots for when we are talking about fewer, okay? And you'll see exactly what I'm talking about in 1 second. So, 11, we need to know 1 fewer. So that 11th counter you have, just flip it over so it's the other color, and boom. We're going to pretend that had to go away. Okay? And so how many blue dots do we have now? Well, we have a full 10 frames, so that means 1 less or 1 fewer than 11 is just 10. But what about the next one? The next one says, what is 2 fewer? Well, now we have to figure out what's 2 fewer. So we already have 1 red dot, right? We need to make 1 more red so that we have 2 red dots. They wanted 2, right? So now we have 2. How many blue dots do we have now? We have 5 up here, then 6, 7, 8, and 9. So now we have 2 fewer than 11 is 9. So just remember, if they want to know how many more, then we're going to add on to it. But if they want to know how many fewer, which means less, we're taking away, we're going backwards and we're taking them away. Okay? So if you were to draw on a 10 frame, instead of using these 2 color counters, you could actually just draw a line through it also to show that you took it away. This would be 1 fewer, right? And this would be 2 fewer. All right, so let's keep on going to the next page. Go ahead, open up your work mats and get to the next page. I'm going to do the exact same thing. Okay, so I'll give everyone a couple seconds to make sure that you're open up to the next page and you're looking at number 1. And also, if you would like to, you can see that I did a little number line at the top. You can feel free to draw one if you like also. So I'll give you guys a couple seconds to make sure the page is open. And if you want to draw this similar number line, I started with number 11. We're not starting at 1 today. We're going to start with number 11 and work our way all the way up to number 19, because that is the biggest number that we're going to work with. Okay? All right, everyone, I'm going to move on. If you need a little bit more time to draw a number line, you can go ahead and hit that space bar on your Chromebook, and that will pause the video for you. And then when you're all set with your number line, you can just hit the space bar again. All right, so let's go on. So let's take a look at what we're going to do here. The directions tell us use counters to make the numbers, write the numbers. Okay, so the counters that you have, you can go ahead and keep using counters. If you don't feel like you need the counters, that's why I drew the number line. Because sometimes we like using other methods that we've learned, and that's okay. You don't have to use every single little thing or every single little method that we learn. Sometimes if if we like touch dots for counting and adding and subtracting, we can absolutely use those touch dots instead of using a 10 frame or instead of using a number line. It's whatever works best for you. Okay? So let's read the word first, which is going to be the number we're working with. So we have the number 13. So first we're going to write 13 in the box. And they want to know what is 2 more than 13. Well, we can just go ahead and use the number line and count the jumps, right? Starting at 13, we jump 1, 2 jumps is 15. So 2 more is 15. That is so 2 more than 13. There we go. But now here they're trying to trick us. So they don't want more for the next part. They want to know what is 2 fewer. Now, does that mean we're going to add and jump forward on the number line? Or does that mean we're jumping backwards on the number line? It means we are jumping backwards. Okay? So let's start at the same number. We're starting at 13 and we just count the jumps. Ready? 1, 2, and we landed on 11. So we jump back twice, and we now know that 2 fewer than 13 is 11. And we can go ahead and trace those dotted lines. Okay? Now let's read the next number together. They gave us the number 17. So first thing we're going to do again is write the number in the box, 17. Now this time I want you to try on your own what is 2 more than 17. Just do that first part on your own, okay? All right, you guys should have been able to get that done pretty quick. Uh, so let's go over this first part only. So we're going to use it. I'm going to use the number line so we can have a visual here. So we start at 17, and I want 2 more added onto 17, right? So it's 2 jumps, 1 and 2, and we land on 19. So 2 more than 17 is 19. Okay, that wasn't too scary. Well, now let's look at the next part. We're still working with the number 17, but this time they want to know what is 2 fewer. So are we jumping forward on the number line, or are we jumping backwards? Well, since they said the word fewer, right, we have to jump backwards on the number line. So go ahead and give that the second part of number 2 a try on your own, and then we'll go over it, okay? All right, I think you girls and guys should have been able to do this pretty quick again. So 2 fewer than 17. We started at 17 and we jump back twice. 1, 2, and we land on 15. So now we know that 2 fewer than 17 is 15. Boom. So now we know what is 2 more and 2 less. So now go on ahead and try number 3 all on your own. And I'll read the word out to you. So just make sure that we all know what the number is. And the number we're working with is 12. Okay, I will give everyone a couple seconds to write the number in the box right there. And then tell me what is 2 more and 2 fewer for that number. Okay? Alright, I don't want to give you too much time because I think you probably did this pretty quick again. So let's start going over this. So our number is 12. So we write that in the box, 12. And now we have to find out first, what is 2 more than 12? Well, we can go up to our number line and find out, right? So we start at 12, and then we have 2 jumps. We're adding 2, right? 1, 2, and we land on 14. So 2 more than 12 is 14. Remember, this is the same thing as saying 12 plus 2. It is the exact same thing. And 12 plus 2, as we just found out, equals 14. Now, let's find out what is 2 fewer, or 2 less is what that means, right? Fewer is less, which means we are taking away. So we start at 12. Oh, I got to add on to this number line first. Okay. So we're going to start at 12, and we're going to jump back 2 times because it's subtracting. 1, 2. So 2 fewer than 12 is 10. We just jumped back twice and we found out that it is 10. And remember, guys, this is the same thing as saying 12 minus 2. And we found out that 12 minus 2 equals 10. It is the exact same thing. They're just putting words there and to make us think a little bit more, okay? That's all. So I will read off number 4 to you, what the word is, the number word, and then you're going to try that all on your own and then go on to the next 2 pages and do those all on your own, okay? If you are confused about anything, you can come sit with me and the other students on the front carpet. And once I'm done teaching them, I can go over anything that you need me to talk about again, okay? But if you're all good to go, go back to your seats, complete the rest of the packet by yourself, and do not tell each other any answers, please. Keep the answers to yourself, just so I know who needs help, okay? And I will talk to everyone soon. Have fun.